Welcome to Throwing Shade. So this past week, I'm watching one of my favorite political analysts, Joy Reid, on The Readout. She has as a guest on her show, Beaumonte Jones. Now, Beaumonte Jones is an analyst for ESPN. So the topic they were discussing was Sha'Carri Richardson being disqualified from the Olympics. So as Beaumonte began to speak, and I'm a big fan of his, as he began to speak, I find myself so much in agreement with him. Because here's the thing. When I first heard about what happened with Sha'Carri, I wanted to be angry for her, not angry at her. But as we say, at some point you got to handle your business. You've got to handle your business. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of personal responsibility. And now I get that you can do everything right. This is a country where you can do everything right, follow all of the rules, and somehow or another you can be victim to the kind of tertiary racism that sort of floats through all the industries and all the seats of power that we have to deal with. It's at its very core. It tends to be not a race-blind society, if not purely racist, but it isn't a race-blind society. So the system is tough. And the toughest truth in the world, particularly for athletes, the toughest truth in the world is that 80% of the people, 30% of the people in your orbit aren't cheering for you. So you have all these people in your orbit that you think, but 30% of them aren't cheering for you. As a matter of fact, you would be grateful if they didn't work the diametric opposite of you, if they didn't work against you. Now, the thing is, though, is that these should be known quantities. When you're a professional athlete, or professional in any sense of the word, there should be a known quantity that there are going to be pockets, or there are going to be traps, or there are going to be places where you should have some trepidation, because that is just the nature. And that should be a known quantity that even, as I said, if you do everything right, there's still this chance opportunity that things will go wrong. And so what you need to do is take upon yourself this personal responsibility to be above reproach. If you don't know it now, someone should have told you that as you were growing up. At some point, given who you are and the more visual your position, you have got to be in a position where you work to bring yourself beyond the ordinary reproach of individuals. We tell athletes, executives, sports personalities all the time, and I get it. There's pressure to compete. Okay, I get that. But there is as much pressure outside of the arena as there is in the arena. And 80% of your life, you think that all of your life is spent in training, but 80% of your life happens outside the arena. To imagine that you work so hard in preparation within the arena and don't put in the same work, the same discipline outside of the gym or outside of the stadium, outside of wherever it is that you engage and work on your physical attributes, the fact that you don't engage that same discipline outside of that, well, some of that is going to be on you. The thing is, and again, this is something you should know. And if you didn't know, someone should have told you that the list of professional black athletes who have been victims of a lack or a drop off or a lack of focus in their discipline, the carnage from those situations are littered throughout social media. They're littered throughout the last 10, 15, 20 years of sports. And here's the thing. You can't exploit social media for what it does to enhance you financially and then a victim when it turns against you. I don't do this often, but to quote the heavy metal band Poison, every rose has its thorns. And so you can be outraged at the unfairness that I guess athletes find themselves in, the microscope that they live their lives under, but that same microscope exists for young black professionals, and it would be a disservice to them if we don't tell them they need to be diligent. The barriers between young black people are not unintentional constructs. They are deliberate, they're pervasive, and they're unforgiving, and we ignore them at our own risk. A la Tiger Woods, Ray Rice, more recently Deshaun Watson, Richard Sherman. The success for young black Americans is going to, the price, the recompense for success for young black people are scrutiny, unrelenting, unabated, unfair scrutiny. But what in life, I ask you, is fair? There are few tears shed for wounds that are self-inflicted. Bottom line is this, as Maya Angelou says, when you know better, do better. But what do I know? I'm just throwing shade. Thanks for your time. I look forward to seeing you in the weeks to come.